bare minimum, if you don't get a call from your family on your birthday, that is crushing. I mean, forget it. Texting, that's for friends, okay? Calls, that's for family.
That's what I'm trying to figure out is, do we need to set some guidelines for people when it comes to birthdays? And I'm not talking about how much you need to spend or anything like that, but what are the expectations? So I know when you wake up and it's a family member's birthday, it can, you've got your day going on, and then you're like, oh, I got to call so-and-so, and it can get bumped and bumped and bumped. So for me, I try and make it a priority for my family if they have a birthday that I call them before noon with a phone call, because otherwise you feel like an afterthought. Like, I didn't wake up and be like, it's my dad's birthday today. It was, oh crap, it's my dad's birthday today. And that's not the same for everybody, for sure. And people, everyone's different. Some people don't care. Some people don't want a phone call. Some people think a phone call is rude and they want to FaceTime. So I had a friend who just turned 30, and on her 30th birthday...
Oh, that's a milestone one, too.
Her parents and her brother did not call her.
No.
Hey, no text?
They did text. Okay. They texted, and they had sent presents. And so, they were talking like happy birthday in the group chat, and they sent individual texts. But she's like, it's not about the presents. It's my parents and my brother did not call me on my birthday. Mm-hmm. And she makes it, they're a calling family. Like, she calls them and they make sure to call their parents, and usually they get phone calls, and it might be like mom calling and then dad jumps on and dad sends a text later, whatever. But there's always a phone call. And she's like, I don't know if I should say something, because they sent me lovely gifts. They said happy birthday in the text messages, but I'm really hurt that nobody called me on my birthday. Am I overreacting about this?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's foul.
Yeah. How about, well, you got the biggest family in here, so how many calls do you want to take on that day?
Well, honestly, it wouldn't. I don't think it would bother me as much as it would bother most people. But that's probably because I'm not a big birthday person. I was thinking in my head, does my family call me? My mom calls me. My dad calls me. I don't think my sisters always call me. It's usually a text, and I honestly never thought anything of it.
Really?
And I think it also obviously very much depends on how close you are with your family. So Bart they do, all his brothers, they do text. Like, nobody calls, they do text.
Well, there are like 17 of them too. Nobody wants that many phone calls.
There's 5 boys, so they will text each other. And then, God bless her, his mom's got dementia, so she's not going to remember his birthday. So you let that one pass. So I feel like it depends on how close you are with your family. But if they called last year, then they should have called this year. And especially, and maybe this is like a woman thing. Your 30 is a big deal. That's a milestone.
That is a big one.
Right? That's a milestone birthday. So if it was 29 or even if it was 31, I might give it a pass. But for your parents not to call you on your 30th birthday, that seems really odd.
That's messed up. Abby, where are you after
I would feel very discarded. I'm like, oh yeah, society is ready to put me on a shelf, and so are my parents. Welcome to your 30s. No, for me, like, if my mom didn't call me on my birthday, I would find that very odd. But that's just because that's what I know about her. Like, I know that every year, if I hadn't spent my birthday with her, she's going to call me. So if for some reason, out of the ordinary, she changes that pattern, I'm going to ping that as that's odd. That's like not normal for her.
So then because this is the norm for them to call. And so I asked my friend, I'm like, is something going on with your fam, or are you guys fighting? No, everything is peachy keen, like genuinely great. So now she's like, do I call them out nicely? But do I say something like, hey, I was really hurt, knowing her fam is probably going to be like, we sent you these amazing gifts. We texted you. What are you talking about? We sent you, they even had her a cake delivered. So they did sweet things, but she's like, I don't care about that stuff. I care about the people I love calling me so I can talk to them. It's not about the gifts. So she's in between. She's like, do I say something and say I was hurt and I would like phone calls, or do I just let it go because they did all this other stuff?
Yeah, I had this with my kids a couple of years ago. Those are really the only 2 that I expect. Everybody else can pretty much text me. But those are the 2. And they didn't. I think they texted or whatever. And a couple of days later, I think I wasn't so nice about it though. I wasn't like, oh, this really hurt my feelings. I think I'm like, bro, come on now, man. I mean, it's going to take 30 seconds out of your day to give me a call. I think that, I think I did express that I was hurt, but for sure I addressed it.
I feel like it's all about delivery and tone, so I wouldn't send it via text. Like, if you're going to ask for a phone call, I think you should call and ask for the phone call. So I think it's something you either call or FaceTime and be like, I loved the cake. The gifts were beautiful. God, I'm trying to think of like how you word this because I don't want to come in hot.
Like, did you guys know you suck as parents?
No, yeah. But be like, but what means the world to me is just my love language is communication, or my love language is words about whatever that is, and be like, next year if I like a phone call, that's what's gonna make my birthday.
Knowing my parents, they'd be like, all right, then return the gifts, B.
Whether I say something or not depends on how good those gifts are. Some gifts are good enough. I'd rather the gift than the phone call.
Right.
Because
Agreed.
also you have to know the parents, because some parents don't take constructive criticism well when you call them out on something, and they're going to be like, I brought you into this world. You really think you're going to critique me on how I'm parenting you, and then I didn't call you on your birthday when I sent you a gift and a cake and a text?
You're running into that hornet's nest. Yep.
Yeah.
The Bert Show.